We are alive. We are living beings, some of us. Now, someone wanted to talk DNA and genetics. I felt like this was a worthy topic. This is not the creation story, but it's a part of it, right? So grab your notepads because this one is phenomenal. Do you understand that some people will tell you what they plan to do to you? And if you are down and out, you'll agree. And when I say Coupe de Ville is not the one that's sitting on your shoulder, you understand now because the selling of DNA is real, really real. You know what I'm talking about? Now, let me tell you something. He was serious, so serious. The thing about when you sell your DNA, right? Because people do this, right? You go to them sperm banks and all of that stuff and you sell, and you just, when you get about 80, if you reach that age, you start wondering how many children you conceived because, you've been over there at the banks, selling your DNA. So it's not nothing that's not unfathomable, A lot of people do it, They sell their hemoglobin. This is a real thing. People really make coins off of this, right? So, well, now when you start talking about billionaires and trillionaires and stuff like that, when they look you in your face and say, I'm serious, I own your baby, it is funny because he is telling you the truth. And because I am in the field that I am in, I understand that he is telling you the truth, but the thing that took me by surprise is the title. No one is saying Coupe de Ville made me do it anymore. This is great. This is progress. Yeah, because sin is my favorite. You know what I'm talking about? I specialize in sin sometimes, depending on where I'm at. I specialize in sin. My whole platform is built on sin. You know what I'm talking about? For real. Let me clear my throat like he did and she did last night. You know what I'm talking about? Fornication. That is something that is really real. You fornicate here, you fornicate there, and then you spill. It's a spillage. Okay, for those that are not aware, that is how the Hinakana came over the black people because they spilled those men. Put a C in front of it. And I am so serious. You know what I'm talking about? There was spillage. Everything about this recent everything about it was an example of what took place a billion trillions ago. Is she really channeling the underworld? What do you think? They're not possessing me and throwing me up against the wall like some of you want to believe they do because I am a cherub. Now, if somebody were to approach me and say, I am going to offer you a spot here on this network, I would say, really real. I want to own that network. You know what I'm talking about? Really real. I do not sell my soul. My soul is already accounted for. You can ask Baphomet. Just say in his mind, is her soul accounted for? And he would say, that is my universe daughter. Now, when you start talking about buying someone's sperm and saying that their child is yours, that is something that came from Anakina, Iphigenia, the nature, because that is how we say it. I say Nutaru, but what do I know? I'm just a descendant, yeah? So we're talking about spermatozoid spillage, DNA coding. And when someone is so arrogant that they look you in your face and say, I own your child, and you laugh it off like it's no big deal, you wonder why in the next life you're walking around with a dress on. Akinesifisinishikiti, because you sold your soul. Oh, for no. Sikina. Ooh, wee. You know what I noticed, Ray J, is that your mannerism changed when you were talking to him. It wasn't just me. You know, Ray J is a favorite, you know, depending on what version. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on who you lay down with. I specialize in versions, different versions and verses. I'm pretty sure it's going to come up in the reading because it already has. Y'all don't know who watched me. Now I'm going to tell you, Germany is a favorite with the underworld, and so is Istanbul. I have an Istanbul card. Don't y'all understand that? Some people say, why does she have these different countries there? It is because that is my specialty. So when you subscribe to me, you know the truth, even if they don't understand. What is happening here is a resurgence, a resurface of what has already been done over and over again. Yes, I said that's how the Hisakina came over the black males, Ofati, because of the spillage. It's a beautiful day. Do y'all understand? What I was talking about is what my whole platform is based on. Parallels, and alternate. The thing about it is some grasp the concept easy because they already believe it. It is the ones that believe they are my people that do not, which makes it very hard for you to evolve. You know? I am not upset with him. I'm just saying, now you understand why you are that way. I'm just saying, you know, the thing about me is I'm a realist, okay? I'm a realist. You cannot offer me anything, but you can donate. You know what I'm talking about? When you donate to me, that keeps you out of the asikena, the courtyard. Because when you do it so blatant like that, that means you a problem. You know what I'm talking about? You a problem, like a real problem. You know, as those go to their demise, new ones come out. And you start saying, what is that? Through time, you start noticing things about their sockets. And you start saying, what is that? For those that feel like money rules everything, you are easy. It's not you that they want. They want individuals like me. But see, the whole problem with that is I'm already wealthy. You know, I'm not driving around in a Lambo, Durango black with chrome rims. I'm not driving around in one of those, you know, but he is. And, you know, I just sit here and I visualize, you know, 20s and 30s, 40s and 50s. My wealth is spiritual. You know, it happens in the 5D first, and then it just trickles down to 3D, like y'all say. You know how many dimensions it is? No, of course you don't, because I haven't told you. There will be a whole network created on me soon. What would you say about ether? Maybe say ether is an oracle. Who could you get to act as if she is ether? She don't want to do that. You know what I'm talking about? She don't want to do that. Because word around the angels is when they act like me, that I get access. And you don't know what'll happen up in there. You know, she might start flying and stuff. Getting to see so she can see ether. You is cold. I am so cold. Burr. Like polar bear punani. You know what I'm talking about? What is the point? The point is you all are starting to see the true wealthy. Because they're not in the camera like that. You know, who is funding all of this? The man in the back, with the Ferrari. That's the one right there. He got a Ferrari. Now, Since all of you know that I am in love with Bugattis, he might go get one and you can rent it and put it in your video. You see, it's something about those that have accumulated wealth. You know, wealth means you have lifetimes of being rich. You don't just get that in one body. You don't. Who has Bugatti money right now? You know, because I seen that little short with Bootsy, right? And what was that? A BMW? You know, that two tone looked like a now later. You know what I'm saying? I imagine you went to the shop and said, "Give me a now later version." The red and green ones, I like them. Somebody said something to the effect of that's small time while having nothing, no car to sit in. I said it's nice. It's not really, BMWs is not really. I don't, I like, I like muscle cars, So BMW is not for me, So, but I looked at it and I said, I remember when everybody was painting their cars like that. I never liked it that, you know. Is it because it looked off? But that's just my personal opinion about it, you know. I just seen some guy. I kind of like, the fade, how they fade, like with like the mood rings. I kind of like that. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Me, I would get like, some candy paint, peanut butter. That's me, you know. I'm not with that new stuff, but the Bugattis, the color coat that they have is really, yeah. We're talking about cars right now, cause he actually got enough money to get one, like to purchase it. Would you work for him? Uh, what I work for him? I will work over here for him. I could do a reading for him. So either you wouldn't go over, no, because I'm not making no money. I'd rather talk about him and then I get some money that way. What's his name? Alki David. So share it to him. Tell Alki David that I said, I know you're kind. I know his kind. And he is serious. He may think it's a joke, but he is serious. Oh, he's not for me. That is for Osifino, Osiris. I'm just talking about it because I can. Do some of y'all believe I'm not going to talk about certain people? Why not? Why not? All y'all do it, so why can't I? This is what they call a kamikaze. You see how that look right there? That fade? Something like a deuce fade, yeah, not triple, because ain't no black. You know what I'm talking about? If it was black to gray, then it'd be a triple fade. This is like a deuce fade or something. Now you talking haircuts. That's right. That's right. I'm talking haircuts. Y'all know I used to be a barber. Well, I am no spring chicken. I keep telling y'all. It's a whole lot of stuff that I did, but it's a whole lot of stuff that I ain't did. Like sell my Inakonosi. I ain't did that. You know what I'm saying? I imagine if somebody purchased my Inakonim, they would just pass out. Hey, it's been done before. Remember Sarah Bateman? Remember that? You know what I'm talking about? It's really real. It's really real. But she didn't sell hers. Hers was confiscated. You know what I'm talking about? So, it just, when you're around certain people, it just come out. You know what I'm saying? Like that trichomonas that you got. It just flow right on out. The trick pinga. And so what are you talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's PV. Either you gonna have them get you in trouble. What? Either anytime you see someone do that on camera, the underworld has been over there. You know what I'm talking about? You can't get nobody to play me. Like metaphorically, figuratively, and literally. You cannot get nobody to play me. It's just not fathomable. I'm something like a phenomenon. What's that? That's people working. They're working. Did this girl got a goat up in there? What the heck? What she? Is that a pig? What is that, a hog? I know. Big G. I know. If this girl got a pig, what is that? What is it? Oh my, this girl got a hog up in there. What a pig? I know that. What is she? A funny in the she? How the? If she walk past that and act like that's normal, she, girl, you gonna walk past that thing? Why are you acting like that's a dog on a leash? I'm mad right now. But why y'all acting like that's normal? Why you got a hog in there? Wait, strange and unusual. Is that an alien she got on her shirt? Oh my goodness. What in the? What do we eat? Ugh. What? Yeah, I'm looking. Why you not saying nothing? Y'all just acting like she got a dog on a leash. It came out and said, oh my goodness. Now to see it all. She got a dog on a leash. Good, googly muggly. He said if he go outside and see a hog on the leash, he gonna pass out. Y'all said, what is that? When I looked, I thought it was a dog, but the little tail gave it away. That thing huge. It's hungry. It's like sniffing around. That thing is huge. That ain't no pig. That's a hog. Well, no, that's a hog either. Well, that one don't have it. Oh my goodness. That area over there is strange and unusual. I do got nerve. The thing about it is, angels walk amongst us. So do demons, and demon. They walk amongst us. ETs, aliens, all that stuff. But y'all act like, everything is over there and away from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it's like intertwined. Y'all sitting there talking about, my chakras are in alignment. I have 32 chakras around my temple and my body, and I am welcome in Baphomet, and I'm now Satan. And y'all talking about I'm weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she said you are a descendant of Jesus, y'all was like, okay, she's a phenomenal reader, and I'm trying to tell you that you're not a descendant of Jesus, you're a descendant of Hasekena. But when I tell you the truth, because it wasn't for everybody. Now, if Jesus is real, that means he has offspring and he has descendants. No one knows who is who because no one is trapping DNA. I imagine Jesus' DNA would look something like a germ. That would be interesting, right? Let's take samples. They've already done that. This is how they come up with cures. Oh, I am very interesting. I said it. This is how they come up with cures for all type of ailments. You know what I'm talking about? Wait, what's she talking about aliens? Why y'all acting like y'all don't know? What do they call Isipinkiana? The Hispanic descendants that come over here, undocumented. Oh, now you, wait a minute. What are you talking about? They call anyone that's not from here an alien. I am not on a microphone. I am poor. Do one of y'all got like a microphone installed in your car? Cause like where would I put the speaker and the sound system? He think everything has a synthesizer on it cause his garage band don't work no more. And garage band, let's just dissect that for a second. Garage band. My father was a drummer. Yeah, my biological father, right? He's a drummer. And he played the drums in the garage with his band. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. He played it and it was good, you know. It's good music. The sound in the garage, that type, because it was encased in wood and cement pavement and all that stuff, The acoustics was good in there, you know. So it just, it blared through the whole community and people felt good, when they walked past, you know. I'm just saying, y'all trying to figure out how to do your padding right. It has to be wood under there. Then you put the pad over it. Why you not in the street? Because that's not where the big G want me this time. Yeah. You know how many actors can sing? You know how many singers can act? Not many, but some. I've seen a lot of stuff. People value my opinion because I'm not just going to blow smoke up your behind just because you're famous. I'm not going to say something sound good, look good, and it don't. I'm a realist, A lot of y'all got yes ma'ams, around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you end up putting out hot garbage because someone said that sound all right, So you're not, if I say I don't like a beat, I mean it. Like I don't like that beat. It's too much going on. It's too fast. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no bass. My biological father was a drummer, so bass is important for me. I didn't already talked about this. I understand the difference between when something gets rendered and when something is created. You know, the old stuff. Growing up in the house, we had speakers encased in wood, what they call wood grain. When you grow up with that type of sound, you pay attention. So garage band wouldn't be something that I gravitate towards. I would just be like in the pawn shop, you know what I'm talking about? Saying, let me get this. Fig, what I need. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And he'd be like, this, that, and the third. Now don't y'all go trying to talk to him again in his mind. Because he going to take you to kamikaze. You know what I'm talking about? What is she talking about then? What, out of all the people, why she choose? I didn't choose the game. The game tells me. You know what I'm talking about? I sound muffled. Is that better? I'm not amped today because I need some coffee. I need some coffee. I'm gonna call her Hog Girl. When I see her again and she ain't got her pet, I'm gonna say, Hog Girl. If he knew that hog was down there, he'd be stuff be happening right up on your nose, literally. You know what I'm talking about? You walking past all the way up there, and they got a whole hog beast under you. You know what I'm saying? You just like, tra la 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 la, go get me some McDonald's. And there's a whole hog right up under you. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-mm. Ain't nobody gonna mess with her. Nah. They is not finna mess with that girl. They gonna take one look at that hog and say, I'm good. Let me cross the street. A pit bull, not a pit bull I ever seen, couldn't even get they mouth around that neck. That thing is huge. That would be interesting to see. Mm-mm. Now, man, if I hear squealing, I'm gonna be heated. Ain't no telling what. She got like 4 kids up in there and a hog. Y'all remember that little skit where it was like 6 clowns in the car, and they opened the door and it just kept getting out. And then when the 6 was done, 6 more came in through the other side. That's her. I'm sure about it. And y'all weird, cause y'all acting like it's normal or something. Y'all gonna have to rewind it. Either where you at, I don't even know. I do not even know. I ain't ever seen nobody walking a hog. I mean, it's probably common in the South, but I'm not from the South. I mean, I imagine. Let me see what she look like when she see the hog. I can't tell you, cause I gotta see that people is normal. You know what I'm talking about? She over here channeling underwear and she talking about people being normal. Look, let you see somebody walk past with a hog on the leash and see how you respond. That's normal for me. Probably normal for her. Ugh. I mean, he probably would say that's a sign. You know which one to go after now. Everything is a sign to the wealthy. It's getting high here. Yeah. After I finish watching that, like, let me get back into my business mind state, right? It's 3 other videos associated with that last one. One is going on the more tier, and the other one is going on the financial tier. I'm not sure about. It'll more than likely it'll be on tier 2, the second portion. This is why I say, if you want to see all the series associated, all the videos associated with a certain pool, you gotta go to a high tier. When you are on 4, 5, and 6, that means you get your own personal reading. Now, for those that are aware of what happens on 4, 5, or 6, I don't have to explain anything. What I intuit there stays there. It's not on you. Because that is what happens when you socialize while speaking there. They put stuff on you. And when it comes on my table, that means it's time for it to be cleared off of you. So a lot of you that have businesses, you need to take advantage of the financial tier. The finances is lower than the love tier for a reason. When you start talking about love readings, the 6th tier, you get everything. You get a 1 hour instruction. You know, 1 hour with me is a lot. A lot comes out in 1 hour. Now, depending on who you are, it's going to be broken down into segments because you are a candidate for a reading once a week. That's how that is. That's how that go. That's it. Now, I'm going to start factoring in my editing time for some of you. Because those of you that feel like you're going to get all 60 minutes, you have to understand that I'm spending hours editing because I got to clear you at the same time to be able to get accurate information. So, in my opinion, it's lowballed. Now, I've been here for a long time. The ones that prior to this group here, this group that I'm intuiting, right? They didn't have no money. These ones got money, and these ones are believers. So if you feel the notion to join tier 4, 5, or 6, it is because it is time. I am the one that said, I part the Red Sea just like Moses for my members, and I mean that. Now, some of you understand that I know the difference between rich and wealth. There's always a man behind a man, behind a man, behind a man. And when you start seeing all them jewels, all them cars, somebody really making that money. You start seeing, is the jeweler making the money? Is the dealer making the money? Is the property owner making that money? The landowner making? Who is making the most money out of everybody? That's the level I'm on. Because I'm a descendant of Baphomet. That's why. When you start talking about Satan, Moloch, see, I can say Moloch now because I'm somewhere else. We're talking about wealth, wealth on top of wealth, stinking, filthy wealth. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I kind of like him right now. I don't know about in 30 minutes. When you start saying you want Satan type of wealth, that means you want a lot of. It's not just dineros. We're just gonna put it on the currency line, cause that means you getting international money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I seen somebody right, and he was being interviewed. They said, "What he do? What do you do?" He said, "I do everything." I'm like Henry Ford. I said, "Subscribe. Subscribe. You got me. I don't know who you is. I don't care, but I like that. I like that right there. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want nobody dancing all through the videos. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody, all the way in the back, the back. They think they like me, y'all. Just 2 minutes ago, you wanted somebody dancing in the video. Now, just put some Fix the Flat in your lips. You might be a candidate. I ain't trying to lay down with nobody, Ninja, even the sand ones. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't trying to lay down with none of them. Trying to get this money, hundreds and fifties. They would have to, approach me a little bit different. Yeah. if I were to walk into a production, I'm not, I might come in a cape or something. You know what I'm saying? Like a cape, some Matrix out. You know what I'm saying? Some sunglasses on, a big old afro. You know what I'm saying? Like a big one, like the sun. We are not the same. You know what I'm saying? They say anything about you sign this contract, you're gonna have to get surgery. I'm gonna be like, not me. She can go. She can go instead of me. This my stunt double. That's the level I'm on. You know what I'm talking about? You know, she wanna be me anyway. Just put her there. You know, she can do all the surgery. You know what I'm saying? Leave me with my big afro and cape. All the angles that I get shot from, I want to look like a giant. You know what I'm talking about? No, that's not the right angle. Lay down. You gotta take this shot right here. Just lay down. I'm gonna put my foot on your chest. Chick, chick. I'm different. I do not want no bedazzled nothing. I don't want no bedazzled nothing. I don't want no gems. I don't want no rubies. I want some money. I don't want no watch. I don't want a car. I can buy that with the money. I don't want no apartment because I can buy an apartment with the money. I don't want none of that. I'll be in there talking about it's a camera and a smoke detector. I know it's a camera and a smoke detector. I take my chances on my own, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not like me. No. I was sitting there saying, like, all of a sudden you sign and then you rich. You know what I'm saying? You poor one day, like me, and then you sign and you rich. All of a sudden, you got watches, cars, clothes, everything. You just all of a sudden, you got a handful of money, like 10 racks in your hand every video. You're just rich. Like, it don't work that fast. I'm the one that said that a lot of you producers need to have a closet, right? That was me. I'm Ether. I said, y'all need to have a closet because y'all get stuff and y'all wear it one time, right? Put some of them minks and them furs in the closet, and when they come, put one of them Rolexes in there, you know what I'm saying? Just pick what you want. You can have whatever you like. No homo. You gotta put that in there, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all realize that Baphomet is not into Okanisi, and when he hear it, he get angry. He's not into that. None of the archangels, especially any fraction of the underworld, they're not into that stuff. So y'all can stop blaming them because they're coming out, okay? They're coming out for you to see. That's not hemoglobin money. That's the way of the world. I'm just saying, when I was in my 20s when I did it, I would have been like, why? Like, why you remember that meme where the lady started calculating and all them numbers started just started, that would have been me. Like, I would have just went off into a zone. But why? I didn't come from rich. You know, I came from middle class. Now, if I came out the womb in a rich family, and then they just cut me off like completely, just like just like one swipe of a card, just cut me off. You know, I probably would. One phone call away, the B of A. You know what I'm talking about? It's gone. All that money gone, just like that. Nah, you know. Just think about it. Some of y'all want to be, you know, the spoon-fed ones. You know, where you just, you know, your parents just give you everything. You ain't got to work for nothing. You know, they say stuff like, God, if I'm a candidate to be reincarnated, make me a female this time. That's the ones that's on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they can game all the dudes. You know, because they a dude. Make me a female this time, because I bound myself to him this lifetime. So next time, I'm gonna be what he likes. They say stuff like that. Y'all think I'm capping, and I'm not. But then some say, you know, I want to be a rich kid. You know, I want to be the rich auntie. You know, they say stuff like that. Then I say stuff, well, like, you know, the rich auntie usually don't have no children. Usually. No, it's a ace in the hole somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Rich auntie really, you know, usually don't have no children. They put their career first, you know. So they want to be rich auntie. Now that they know the concept of wealth is completely different from rich, they're like, I want to do over. This is how they talk to the big G. Now, when I got angry, my wants got different. When I started talking to the man upstairs, as you evolve, you start realizing, you know, what if the big G put you somewhere where money is not a thing? Like you don't purchase things with money. I thought about that. So I just said I want to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? You never know with him. You never know. That is it.